Okay, hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Nafula, and today we have a very important guest. He's very knowledgeable about green card matters. I know everybody's looking to get more information about the green card, and that's why we have invited Mr. EMB Scholars. So he's going to introduce himself and tell us what he does.
Okay, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to be on your wonderful channel.
You're welcome.
My name is Ernest Boniface Makulilo, so the EBM is the abbreviation of my name, and I have been working on so many things related to the immigration, and one of the aspects of the immigration is talking about the green card lottery, the diversity visa lottery applications, the results, coming to America, starting the life in America. So that is one of the component of things which I do, but on that I do other aspects of the immigration. I write books and living the dream.
It seems you're doing a lot of things, I guess. You're a busy man. Thanks for being on the show. Thanks for taking your time to be on the show to actually educate the community.
Thank you so much.
So today I want to talk about something that's very relevant. You know, the green card lottery DV results are coming out in May. So we want to get everybody ready. So today we're going to talk about the most important thing. Once you win the green card lottery, you have to submit the DS-260. And today we'll be talking everything about the DS-260. So, Mr. Ernest, just tell us a little bit about just the introduction, the DS-260. What is that? When do you have to file that, and all that information about the DS-260?
Yes. So first and foremost, obviously the results will be coming out May, to be exactly on May 6th. When the results coming out, many people do not know what next step. Some people, they think, okay, the results are out today, I'm going to America. No, you are not going to America that day. There are steps. Even if you are the winner, you have to fill the visa form. We usually say DS-260, DS-260, but some people might not understand. Or there are some people who came to America or have applied to the US visa before, but maybe when they applied, they used another form they call DS-160. So these are two different numbers, and is a vastly different type.
So the 160 usually is for non-immigrant.
Non-immigrant visa, like a student visiting those other smaller stuff, meaning you are coming to America not to become an immigrant. You are coming to America just on temporary situation. Study, go back to your home country. Visit, go back to your home country. Is not to become immigrant, because in the legal way in America, immigrant means a green card holder. That's why it's called the immigrant visa. So the DS-260 is a special visa to come to America and to become a permanent, to become a green card holder. So that is the start.
Okay, so pretty much like the 160 for non-immigrant, you have to prove at the embassy
you are coming back to your country.
Yep, you are not staying here, you're going back. But then the DS-260, you have to prove that you're not going back.
It's just like you are coming to America and you are coming here to stay on the permanent basis if you want. So if you have to do that, there are a few things we have to consider. Number one is not just because the results are out, you have to rush and fill the form. Because since you applied for the DV lottery last year in October up to November, there are so many things have changed. Maybe in your life, maybe you had a child, maybe you are single, now you are married, maybe you are married, now you are divorced, maybe someone died in your family, maybe you have adopted a child. So there are certain things have changed. So just review yourself. Is there anything in my personal life is a critical change which I need to have extra documentation for that before you go to fill the form?
So for the DS-260, I know when people apply for the green card lottery, some people, make some mistakes, either with the last name, middle name, or high school. Maybe, it says high school degree and people interpreted that as a degree. So maybe they filled in the wrong information, like in the education. So which parts of the DS-260 can be changed and which ones cannot?
Very good questions. Because there are mistakes if you do on the DV lottery applications will not affect you. And there are mistakes when you do there, they will come to cost you. For instance, you had a child on the day of the application, even if the child is 1 day old, and you said you don't have a child, if you come to fill that child, if you win, according to the instruction, you are automatically rejected.
Because you lied on your application. Correct.
If you are married, legally married, and they said you are not married, that is a different story. You are going to be denied. I understand there are some people, maybe they don't have the marriage certificate, they did traditional. Those cases only say I'm not married, whatever. Those are not a big deal. But you have the marriage license from the government. You are married and you say you are not, and you show the marriage certificate of you are married all those years before, you are going to be denied the visa. There are mistakes people do. Date of birth, for instance, that doesn't affect you. But there is a trick on that. Because my nephew, I applied for my nephew and I made a mistake myself. And he won. So what you do is when you are going to fill the DS260, you will need the information, which is confirmation number, case number, year of birth, whatever the birth details, blah, 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 and to go to sign in the visa form. So if you made a mistake, like on the birth details, you must use the wrong information you added there. Because KCC, they do not know if that is the wrong information. If you put a wrong name, for instance, my last name is Makulilo, and you put Makulili or Makulolo, whatever it is, on the DS260, while you are going to sign in, you must use the information you use in the application.
So that it lets you in.
And once you are in, then you will be able to put the correct last name, put the correct date of birth. Because those information are going to put inside your full name, date of birth, whatever, those will be reflected on your green card, which will be given.
So just to clarify, if you had the wrong date on your application, you had the wrong name, order name, or whatever in your application, you can correct that when you complete your DS260.
While you are inside the DS260.
Correct.
But to enter, you must use those wrong information. Because in the eyes of KCC, those are not wrong information.
So when will somebody be required to apply? What is the best time to complete the DS260 and submit it? And why do you need to submit it at that time?
Usually, we say it's as soon as possible. Yes, it is first come, first served basis, but depending on your case number. So if, first of all, for those who do not know this case number, once the results are out, when you are given, like you are a winner, you will be randomly given specific number. That number is going to determine when you are going to have the interview. So if, let's say, your number is between 1 to 2,000, obviously, for sure, we know your interview is in October. But if your case number is 30,000, you don't need to rush to fill between June, May, June, July. There's no rush. Yes, you need to fill, but don't rush it while you don't have the correct information. Because your interview is supposed to be on March, April, May, going forward.
So the lower the number, your case number, the faster you need to complete the DS260.
But there are certain things which we are clarifying here. You need to have in order to fill that DS260, because you say you have to fill it as soon as possible. But as long as you have a passport, because now there is no passport requirement in applying for the diversity visa lottery. Let's say you don't have the passport, you have to apply for the passport first.
Correct.
You don't have, maybe you have a child, doesn't have the passport, get the passport. You have a spouse, have the passport. Because in the end, you will fill it, and then you ask, can you unlock and whatever? So you give unnecessary stress. Collect all the information, go and put it. And the other crucial, to look like a small information, but is a crucial one, is the address of where you are going to stay in the United States of America.
So that's the post, correct?
Yes. You have to find it. It's not easy to get it, but you have to find it. It's a residential address.
So it can't be a post office address. It has to
be a post office. It cannot be an address of the Walmart. No. So if you have the home address of someone and you have all the other information which are required, which are passport, you are able to fill the DS260 while the other things are going forward. But there are some people on the host. Maybe you don't have the host right now. It might take maybe longer time. And your number is you know, like I have to make sure that I have the number, whatever, like the interview will be soon, maybe October, November, December, and you have to fill it soon. You can ask any person in America, you know, whatever, even if it's not your host, ask it if they can allow to use their address. But I'm not coming to stay at your home. I'm just using this address so that I can complete this application while I'm looking for the host.
And then they can change later.
Yes. To change, you write it to KCC. And you don't need to give it the reason. You just, please open my case. I have to make some changes. But you cannot make any change once you receive the interview date.
So once the interview date is done, you cannot open your DS-260.
All the changes you are making, the embassy doesn't know. The embassy will know. Once they say today you are scheduled for the interview, you have 4 to 6 weeks in it, most likely 6 weeks. In that between time when they give you the interview date, that information is locked for the embassy to see that information now. But before that, you can go in, change education, do whatever you want. The embassy doesn't know.
And then once you have an interview date, you cannot unlock it. It's locked and you cannot change it.
Unless otherwise the embassy give that permission, there is a situation it can happen. Maybe a child is born 1 week before the interview. You can ask the embassy, there is a way they can do to allow you to go to add that person over there.
Okay, so
and
now
with the DS-260, I want to add something which is also very crucial. Adding someone. So let's say you are married on the day of the application, and in the application of the Dvlottery, you added your spouse in the application. If you win by default, when you sign in, the principal applicant, if he's signing there, you will see Ernest Makulilo, you will see the name of the spouse here on the below.
Okay.
And if you added the children on the day of the application, by default, they will be there, their list. But let's say if you get married after the Dvlottery applications, so your spouse will not be there. So you have to manually add your spouse.
So that brings us to an important question. You said something about the passport, everybody needing a passport. So what if you win the green card lottery, you have a spouse, you have kids, but you don't intend to immigrate with them? Do you need their passport information?
No, you don't need them. Why? Because on the lottery, the many applicants will say, I'm coming to America. They will ask you, do you have children? You will put their names. Remember, I'm saying slow. As long as you mentioned you have children in the beginning. If you said no, you have to say no.
You're in trouble.
You are in trouble. So if you say you have children, you are married, but you don't want to come, they ask, are you relocating? Are you coming to America with your children? If you say no, I'm not coming with them, I'm not coming with them, meaning you will not fill the DS-260 because your name will be here, and then you have to go here manually add all the information of another person so that they can be given the visa. So if you say no, you don't need their passport, you don't need any other information, so leave all the things empty, and they don't need even to pay for the medical, they don't need to pay for the visa fee. But I have my personal opinion on that. Unless otherwise you have so much problems in your life, you don't want your family to come to America. Do whatever it takes for them to come along with you in America. You might not be ready financially, whatever it is, I understand, but find a way. Come together today and tomorrow, if they want to travel back to Kenya, back to Ghana, back to Nigeria, back to Tanzania. If they want to go back, let them go back. But they have to get that opportunity. Because sometimes, once you say, I'm not coming with them, that offer of automatically being given a green card is out of the window. Meaning, if you're already in America, you want them to come, you have to sponsor them. So it will be a green card holder sponsoring a child. You are not a higher priority than a US citizen. So it will take longer. So it's not like being here and just, I'm bringing my child from Africa. No. It's another process.
So which means like when you talk about being a citizen, that will take you 5 years to be a citizen, to be a priority.
Yes.
You can actually.
But if you're a green card holder, if you apply for your spouse or your child, it will take 2 to 3, 4 years for the process to go through. So it's better to use this opportunity. Yes, you say, yes, it will be stressful to be there, but just come today, even if they are not going to your host. After being something that you have entered in America, get out, get another plane, come back to Africa.
Yeah, so they can get to the US and turn around
the next day, or even after the airport port of entry. You are arriving at Chicago, you are arriving at JFK, get off JK, get the stamp, give them this envelope, and go to the next door, get another plane, go back to Africa. No problem. You are already a green card holder.
Okay, and then you can come back anytime because you already have the
As long as you don't stay for more than 6 months, you are good. If you stay for 6 months and above, you must get the permission under the advance parole, or if you exceed that time without notifying, you lose your green card, but not forever. In order to come back again, you have to apply is what we call returning green card holder. You have to pay 330 again to be given the visa to get another green card when you come back in US.
And that's not guaranteed as well.
They can say no.
Now that you bring up that point, while we're still talking about the children and how to come here. So for example, you don't have like a host. A host can only host you, right? And then you have children back there. You process their visa, they get the visa. How long can they stay there before they can join you on the same?
Yes, that is a very good question. So you can process, everybody have the visa. But let's say the one person can say, I'm going. Let's say the husband say, I'm going. Or the wife say, I'm going, the first person. The other can stay there, not exceeding 6 months. Because the visa will be having on the stamp is going to expire after 6 months. So you can come here, do your work hard, get an apartment, and get them flight ticket to come here. That's why when you win the lottery, even if you're a family, husband and wife, for instance, both will be given separate envelopes when they are coming to America, because they can travel separately to come to America. The only exception of you must travel together, you must, is like this way. We know in Africa, Nigeria is the only country at the moment which is not eligible. So if Nigerian is marrying a Kenyan, Nigerian will be allowed to apply based on the country of eligibility of the wife, and the Kenyan will be allowed to apply. So if Nigerian wins, cannot travel
without the Kenyan because they claimed eligibility.
Yes, claim based on the wife, so we must come. But if your husband and wife, no matter who wins, anyone can come if you're both from the country of eligibilities.
The family can still.
Yes, the only problem is this one. Before the interview, you have to treat the person who has won the DV lottery very carefully, a very big care. Because if that person dies before the visa interview, then game over. For all.
The higher security guards and everything, make sure you protect the principal applicant.
Yeah, for all costs. You have to protect the principal applicant not to die or to change their mind to go on there and say, they're not coming with me, because has that right.
So we have situations where somebody wins a green card lottery. Maybe they played, or I played for them. You know, some people play for other people. So I play for a principal applicant, a random stranger. They win the green card lottery. And then I'm like, before I give you the confirmation number, you have to marry my sister in Africa.
I have over 10 cases of that one. 3 in Ghana, but most of these cases are in Kenya. And this is what I'm trying to explain to people. According to the law, that is immigration fraud, is illegal. And if you report that situation, the person will be in trouble. That's why I usually tell people, me being in America doesn't mean that if I fill the form for you, you have higher chances. If God wants you to win, whether you fill it by yourself, or IBM fills you, or NAFULA is going to fill that form, you all going to win. It doesn't matter who is going to fill. So there are 2 situations. Number 1, fill by yourself, or do as a business, ask someone professional to fill for you. If it's a business, that means they finish, they give you a confirmation number, each person it goes wherever. So it's not about this one. There is another case. Someone, the woman was about, like, let's say 25, and the person in America filled the form, the woman won, and so you have to marry my relative, and the relative was 65 years old, hasn't been even like standard 7. Like, there is no way if you go to the interview, like, this is fraud. There is no way this model, like you're talking about this Instagram model, like, is going to marry to this person. Like, it doesn't even make sense. So for me, like, if you want someone to fill for you, better to pay that person. It is a transaction. And make sure they give you a confirmation number.
Important.
Because if you do that way, it's a very, because if you report that one, even if someone in America, you can report to the US Embassy and report to the police, that person in America will go to jail.
Yeah, exactly. It's a big thing about, like, you know, fraud and stuff like that.
So, I remember one person was charged 5,000 No, the person said, don't marry. No, I need 5,000 so that I can give you a case number. Wow. I told you, just report to the police, report to the US embassy, report to America. So the person I drafted like a small letter, like I pretend to be a lawyer in Kenya. I say I'm this and this and this, whatever. I put that one in there, made another letter, like pretending to be a lawyer in America. So I sent 2 letters, one from America. I say, send to this person, like we are going to take actions. So the person is to release that information.
Exactly. So that's.
But another way is this way. Okay, if someone filled the DS260 for you correctly, for using your correct information, let them do that way. Go to the form. Go to the website, the form which is dvprogram.state.gov, the form to apply, and go to check the results and click I forgot password, I forgot confirmation number.
The thing is, the people who do that, who hold your case number, they use their own email address. They're very
that is the mistake. Yes.
Yeah, they use their own email address.
So I assumed they use your email address.
No, they use their email address. So you need that email address because they'll send the information to that email address.
Oh, so that is a mistake because I assumed.
Should be very. That's why when I even advise people to apply for the green card lottery, make sure you create your own email, you create your own password, and make sure you save them. Because I saw somebody in Kenya who was actually completing their green card lottery for people for free. So they'd be like, you just come, I complete your green card lottery, and if you win, that's when you pay.
But
the way they do it, they use their own email so that when you win, they'll be like, give me 100,000 before I give you.
That's the problem. When you win, but when you win, they charge you $1,000. $5,000. Better to from the beginning. Okay, for me, I charge you $10. You come and charge you $10. The transaction is over. If you win, you want my service now to fill the visa form, and that is a different transaction. But this one is just a feeling, because they know for sure. Yes, I'm not charging you. If I apply for 100 people, definitely at least 2 to 3 people, will win. So if it happens 5 and they go to charge you 3,000, 5,000, how many people I'm going to get money? So you might get more than that, but that's not fair.
Yeah.
Better to charge a small amount and the transaction is over.
You have the the YouTube channels to educate people. Where like if you need to apply for the green card lottery, 1, you can do it yourself. The form is very easy. Number 2, if you need to pay somebody, make sure you're paying them. They're completing it. They're professionals. They know how to take the correct pictures. And then after that, they hand you over the confirmation number so that when you win, you find out yourself and not them.
Yeah, that's why like when we are applying for people, like number 1, if you don't get the confirmation number, call our office. We send to you also to our WhatsApp. And this year, when we are going to do this year, we are doing differently. Number 1, we send also like to your email and to our WhatsApp number. Just you have both copies. Don't tell, I don't find my number. No, we want you to have it, and we want you to check. Obviously, we'll check on your end if you haven't to notify you that you have won. But because it's not fair, God gave that grace, gift, whatever opportunity to win the lottery, and then you are going to put another burden to them.
Who do that? They have intentions. The intention is, once this person wins, I'm going to get them to either bring my family to the US, not understanding that, they might marry your relative, but then when you go to the embassy, usually, like if you're married, they grill you. They'll be like, okay, where did you guys meet? Where do you live? So you would be able to get away with it.
Today, I posted the video on my YouTube. How do they determine the bona fide marriage? Sometimes they might put in different rooms. What did you eat for breakfast?
Exactly.
And then, I ate this one, and someone, I didn't have breakfast at all. Where do you live? Whatever. So sometimes it's better just if you want to apply for people, you want to help them, help them. If you want to do business, tell them up front, this is the amount I charge. But not like when you win, then I put you a captive. You cannot survive without me. No. More about DS260, and I didn't want to, that's I would say the timeline. That's why I usually you don't need to rush, especially for people who don't have high school. I mean, if you have bachelor degree, you have high school, you are good. But if you don't have high school, your entire lifeline depends on your work experience.
Yep. But then this is the question. Like if somebody completed that they finished university, they went to university, but then they didn't, people just completed because they anticipate that they will graduate this year, and then something happened, they fail a class, they don't graduate. So can they use high school degree if they completed on the application that they finish university?
Yes, but if you're university, even if you haven't finished, you is 4 years program or 3 years, you quit at the second year, your education is higher, it's just like it's higher than high school. So you go with the results of university you had.
So they just need a the basic
minimum is
high school. So once you have your high school, you're all set.
That's why even in the application they call some college courses, meaning you are at the university, either currently studying, whether you dropped out, but you went to the university.
On YouTube, it's important that we share with all our friends, relatives, because guess what? People don't want to share this information. How many relatives do you know that were in America before you got here and they never told you how to get here? They didn't tell you about the green card. They didn't tell you about schools. They didn't tell you about anything. Because once people get here, they just want to, when they come home, they want you to think, oh, this is my relative from abroad, you know? They want to be worshipped. Instead of like, okay, let me uplift somebody. If I bring somebody here, they don't have to ask me for money. They can work. So you're empowering them versus just giving them fish, you know? So that's what our African people need to learn. Like, if you know of opportunities, share with your friends, share with everybody. Because guess what? Even if somebody comes here, Texas is so big. Like, even if we bring all of Kenya to Texas, we still don't fill up that. So we have room for people. How about not sharing that information with everybody? That's what we need to do.
Very true.
Do you have anything else you want to add on the DS260?
What I can add is this way. Make sure that you try as 100 possible, whatever, to put the truth in that form.
Mm-hmm.
They might not be applicable. You might get the visa, but down the road, you want to become CEO, you want to become FBI, whatever, they might look back on your background and can come to hunt you. So there are certain information, simple. For instance, like someone say, I've visited China, I've visited this country. Because I have new passport, there is no visa. Let me lie. But down the road, you have social security, you have social media accounts over there.
Mm-hmm.
See, by law, you have to put your social media accounts, your phone number. They see all the pictures you have been having good time in China or India. So they say, you said you have never been there.
And everything is electronic now. Like, they will catch up with you.
Yeah. And another thing which I last one on the DS260, even 160 for those non-immigrant, if you plan to go to Western world, you have to watch on your social media. What you post, what you like, what you comment, all those kind of things. Don't promote violence. You might be Odinga's supporter. You say don't support Ruto to be president. They see you have stones. You want to destroy your own president, and then someone posts a comment about Biden. Oh, this old man must be better to die. You like that comment? Oh, so you have bad intention. You want your president not to be a president. Now you want the American president to die. They are denying you because you are a threat on national security.
That's important. That's a very important point. With the social media, people are just getting reckless.
You see the post about the maybe like Osama bin Laden, or the post about US getting out of Afghanistan. You start going there full engaged, like you like the picture of Osama bin Laden, like I mean, whatever your opinion is, it might be correct, but certain things you don't need to post on social media. Because when they go back, those are the things they're going to look at.
And people are asking, can you hide? Like, some people will be like, I'll open another Facebook and then I'm going to hide and put the new Facebook. And then this one, they won't be able to see it because they don't realize this facial recognition. Like, it's a known technology that they'll just find out.
And even it is written with the instruction, we are using facial recognition. Yeah, because there is a tendency, even like in the application, I Ernest Boniface Makulilo, I apply as first person, and they go Boniface Ernest Makulilo, second person. Makulilo Ernest Boniface is the third person. No, facial recognition is the same person.
Yeah,
that's stupid.
They'll know. Like, if it's social media, if you are tagged in a photo, so you deactivated your account, but you're tagged in a photo of somebody who has an account, that will link you back to you.
And even if you delete a photo, the photo is on Google, whatever system is there. Just go and Google your name. You will see the photos which they are not linked to your any account. It is there. I don't know how it is there. The best way, don't post. If you don't want certain things to be on the social media, yes, they're not going to look smaller things like you are drinking or smoking, whatever, but they are looking like certain things like this pattern.
Terrorism, something that...
Yeah, you are walking with the knife like in the middle of Nairobi Square, whatever it is. Oh, this guy.
Or with the rock, you're ready to...
Yeah, you have a rock like, and the police are there. Say, this guy comes here, and here there's second amendment. If he has a gun, this person will destroy all Americans. So they deny you the visa. So you have to watch out what you post, because on social media and phone numbers are required by law to post them on your DS2C.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Ernest. We thank you for having you today on this channel. You've really educated us a lot, because there's some things that I know a lot of my viewers didn't know about it. Some of them I'm learning from you, you're learning from me. So yes. I really appreciate your time and all this information that you've provided today.
Thank you so much for having me, and keep up with the good work on your YouTube channel.